Hello, class. My name is Charles Helton, and today we're going to be talking about human perception as well as reducing cognitive load in interface design. So, here's the introduction. We're going to talk about human perception in interface design, specifically in the AR video game Pokemon Go. And in topic 2, we're going to be talking about reducing cognitive load in interface design for users. So let's get into it. Sensual feedback, or feedback of the senses in Pokemon Go. So we're going to be covering visual, auditory, and haptic feedback. The first thing that people notice about Pokemon Go is the visual feedback of the game. It's an AR game, so you get to see Pokemon and where they are in relation to you and things in real life. Not only that, while you're at the main screen of the game, it shows you roads, buildings, and landmarks that are real in real life, and they correlate to the game because the game uses GPS data as the points in the game. As far as audio, each Pokemon, like Charmander, has its own sound or cry that it makes. So every single creature has its own sound. But on top of that, every action and every event has a sound. If you click a button, it makes a sound. If you click a certain item, it makes a different sound. Every single thing has a unique sound in this game. So you could close your eyes and press anything and you could know what it is. An interesting thing about Pokemon Go is its haptic feedback. So it has haptic feedback through your devices like your smartphone, but it also provides auxiliary items such as the Pokeball Plus and other things that primarily give haptic feedback. Based on how many buzzes or the level of buzzing that it gives you, you can know what's happened. So it gives you a lot of information in this game just through haptic feedback. Now, to add more to this, an idea would be to use more GPS data that Pokemon uses to add things like street lights, crosswalks, or traffic congestion, which I've colored red, white, and yellow here. So we could get even more visual data into this game. It might slow down the game though, so maybe that's why they didn't add it. Audio-wise, there's certain events in the game. For example, when you catch all the Pokemon in an area, there's no more Pokemon. Eventually, they will spawn back. And when they spawn back, they make a sound, or whatever it is. And I think they could use their bank of voices for each Pokemon. So when a Pokemon spawns, you would know which Pokemon spawns without even looking at your phone if they made the noise that they make. And another idea is to include more accessories to be usable by Pokemon Go, such as haptic vests or gloves that VR sets can use and allow Pokemon Go to use that. That could allow for even more interesting things like different levels of intensity of when your Pokemon attacks another Pokemon. Now, to add another sensual feedback, I had an idea to add an olfactory feedback. So picture this device in this player's hand, and it's filled with small sections of different scents. Each Pokemon you catch, it can actually release different scent, or different events can have different scents. Now for topic 2, we're going to discuss reducing cognitive load. So the first strategy of doing that would be using multiple modalities. For example, combining audio and visual, such as a GPS. I have an example over here where it shows you visually where you're going on a map, but it also will tell you turn left here, go straight for 1 mile. So they use a combination of those things so that people can get more information or absorb the information in different ways. Now, a bad example is the IVR, which is the automated phone system. When you call, it says press 1 for this, press 2 for this. This is an example that it's violating the principles of cognitive load because it forces people to sit there and remember, okay, they said press 1 for what and 3 for what, and sometimes you have to go through the whole thing to figure out exactly which one you want to press. So a simple redesign, this is a text message that they could send you. Here's a list of everything that they will be saying, and you don't even have to sit there and listen through the whole thing. You can just see everything that would be on that menu. Another way to reduce cognitive load is to give users the control of pace. So let them process information at their own speed. Let them go faster or slower or rewatch certain things of a video, for example. Now, a bad example of letting users control the pace is self-checkouts. I've been to too many bad self-checkouts, and they will hit you with surveys. They will ask you for donations, for tips. There's all kinds of prompts. There is much better ways to do this. Instead of asking for tips, they can have a tip jar. Or if you go to McDonald's, for example, they have a box like, put $1 in this clear box. It'll go towards cancer research or whatever. If you take those away from the menus, people would be less frustrated with these systems. And that's it. We covered human perception and design interface and how to reduce cognitive load on users. Thank you very much for watching.